My friends, today is the day. A lot of you have been suggesting this video and we are going to answer a question that a lot of Europeans have been wondering for many years. Why are Americans so confident? So before we go into that, don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to subscribe. Let's play it. Alright, this is a good start. Enjoy my European friend reacting to American stores. Okay, I bet money this will be Walmart.
Those reactions weren't exaggerated, and what these Europeans experienced completely changed
Almost
the way
the
they
same
looked at
thing.
America. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why so many of them finally understood where American confidence comes from.
Okay, well friends, actually you can find my vlog at Target in my channel. That said, Sarah ended up enjoying Target more than Walmart. I was the opposite. I thought Walmart was, I don't know, it was bigger. I thought it was cooler.
Here's the surprising part. Most people never hear this side of the story. If you enjoy discovering unexpected truths through real experiences and honest reactions, hit subscribe right now. You don't want to miss the next video because each one reveals something that completely changes the way people see America. Now, let's get into it.
Okay.
I feel like the American confidence gets a lot of criticism, but it's something...
Confidence in America, and all of a sudden there is a massive pickup truck and she looks so small. You know, you can see confidence in America just in this frame.
I've really appreciated as a foreigner. We were literally just walking Venice Beach and Joe sneezes and some guy comes up and he's like, "Oh, bless you." And then as we're walking along the beach, this lady comes up to me and she approaches me in such a familiar, friendly way that I genuinely thought she was talking to someone else.
Okay.
And she said "Oh my God, I love your shirt." And by the time she'd kind of walked off, I kind of realized, oh shit, she was talking to me. And I turned around and quickly said thank you. But it was just the way she approached me. It was so easy. And it was like she was talking to a friend of hers, which is why I was so confused.
I was just watching
Americans are friendly.
a post of a fellow Brit living in America, and he was talking about how he's noticed the difference in children and how they are typically more confident in America than they are in England.
Really?
And it made me think, because I think literally every single other Brit I follow on here who lives in America, one thing that all of them will say is that people in general, not just kids, but adults, kids, but people in general are more confident here than they are in England. From a young age in England, we can typically be told to not show off, don't brag, be humble, don't toot your own horn.
I think this is a thing across Europe overall, because I'm not from the UK, but I relate with this a lot, you know what I mean?
It can be seen as arrogant to talk about your achievements, or if you have a pay raise or a idea that you have that may go against the grain.
No, it's a bit true, yeah. If you know, I don't know, buy a new house, a new car, sometimes you have this guilty mentality for some reason. It's a bit weird, but it happened to me, so.
Whereas in America, I think it's celebrated to talk about yourself in such a positive light. If you have an achievement, a stranger would celebrate with you. When you have positive motivation, this can help you with your confidence. This just isn't something that we're used to in England. I won't lie, when I first moved to America and people were this way with me, I kind of saw it as fake or not being genuine, but it really isn't. American people just love celebrating other people's wins and bigging each other up. I'm not saying this.
And I think that's, no, I thought this would be a funny video, but she's speaking something that I really relate with. And I think what makes America great is Americans are okay with the successes of the others, you know. I don't want to go into politics, but sometimes, you know, if you really think about socialism and stuff like that, there is a lot of good things, and I live in a country that has that for multiple years. But there is also negative things, you know, in the sense that you start to look at money like the devil, you know what I mean? And that makes, and in the long run, that I personally, of course, believe that will be very bad.
Doesn't happen at all in England, but culturally speaking, it just isn't something that is common.
People hate the rich and stuff like that, and at the end of the day, I mean, a lot of them work because those guys have companies, those guys end up investing in the country. It's a bit of nonsense, to be honest, you know what I mean?
Literally every single British person living in America, I've seen on TikTok, one thing they will all say is they've become a much more confident person since moving to America, and I honestly love that for us. So yeah, this is one of the many reasons many of us British people love living here.
Let's talk about how actually living in the US raised my self-esteem as an European. Okay. So I'm an Italian girl. I was born and raised in Milan. That's why I was I'm sorry if I say some words
Milan?
in English wrong, but
No problem.
English is not my
At
first
least with
language.
me.
Anyway, one of the first things that happens to me when I arrived here in the US, I was in Walmart and this woman approached me and just give me a straight compliment. She
Like
just
what?
said to me like, "Oh, I love your hair and I love your skirt. Where'd you get it?" And I was like, "Oh my God, thank you." Like, I really didn't expect that because this
Okay.
is something that in my country would never happen. There is no way,
No
like,
lies.
man that approach you and tells you, "Oh,
That's why I said I believe this is a thing in Europe overall. You know what I mean?
you look nice," or "you look hot." Yeah, that happened all the time. But I mean, we know why, okay? The fact that a girl stops you and tells you, "Oh, you look gorgeous. You look very nice. I love your skirt. I love your dress." This never happened, okay? Never. It never happened to me.
Yeah.
I asked my boyfriend, I was like, "Is this normal?" And he said to me, like, "Yes, that's pretty normal. That's happened all the time. Like, if we like
All the
something,
time.
we just stop and tell that person that we like her shoes or his shirt, whenever." I
Okay.
was like, "Oh my God, this is actually like so nice." And this is something that boosts my confidence so much. Same things about my body confidence. Okay. In Italy, a lot of people saying that we have a very body shaming mentality. And as an Italian, that's true. You need to be
That I'm not aware, to be fair. You know what I mean?
very skinny, okay, for being considered good looking, okay? Since my body, it's considered like fat in Italy, okay? Instead here, everyone like loves my body. All these things make me feel like so good. And this is something that I wish in my country will be implemented. But I think it never will. I recognize that by myself. Like,
No, I honestly think when people talk about moving to the US, I think one of the good reasons for that could be mentality. You know, I really think that that could be one of the best reasons. Specific British people, it's kind of obvious that they don't feel welcome. They don't feel at home in a weird way in the UK. So, I mean, if that's the case, goodbye, good morning, USA.
I will never stop a girl and say, "Oh, I love your dress," or "I love your
Even though I know it's very difficult to move to the US, legal, of course.
myself. Like, I will never stop a girl and say, "Oh, I love your dress," or "I love your hair." I will look at her and I will think that I like it, but I will never tell her. Probably this is because we've been raised to have a lot of competition with other girls. I saw
Yeah,
many
didn't happen to
American
me.
women on this app that are currently
I was playing Magic the Gathering cards.
in Italy complaining about this. And unfortunately, this is true. And one of the things that I love the most of being here is this, the fact that actually I can see girl supporting other girl. This is just something that I really love about this country.
So many of you
In terms of this, now I'm going to be serious again. I think women struggle more with beauty in the sense that the standards are very different from woman to man. I think this is an obvious thing, right? I honestly don't care that much how I look. I try to look clean. That's it. Is the best I can do. I'm fine with that. But a lot of women are kind of obsessed with their looks, and in the long run, that's a really bad idea, to be fair, because our body is basically, going away. So, but it is what it is.
reached out after my last video that I had to say this one more time. The media has been lying to you about America, and the
Okay.
World Cup just proved it. For
Okay, the thing about World Cup is Spain ended up winning the World Cup, and I don't like that. That said, pick your truth.
years, European and Canadians have been fed the same narrative. America is dangerous. Americans are ignorant. The culture is shallow. The food will kill you. And people believed it. Why? Because they saw it on the news. They read it online. They never actually went. Then the World Cup came, and millions of people who had never set foot in the US suddenly showed up. And you know what they found? Friendly people, incredible energy,
That's
stadiums that blew their minds, hospitality they didn't even expect. Video after video of Europeans and Canadians saying, I had no idea, I was completely wrong. This
Not just Canadians, I mean, Asians, Africans, you know what I mean? It was people from Australia. A lot of people got shocked by how well this World Cup ended up going and how amazing the stadiums ended up being, how good the country was, basically. So.
is nothing like what I
Which makes no sense because America is the #1 country in the world in terms of economy, right? So I know that does not translate automatic to quality of life. It's a bit more complex than that. But you need to assume it's a really good country, you know what I mean?
was told. And that's exactly the problem. The media doesn't profit from you having a good experience. It profits from fear, division, outrage.
That's why my thumbnails are always clickbait.
Canadian family having the time of their life in Texas doesn't get clicks, you know? A crime story does. So that's all you ever see. That's all you ever hear. And slowly, without even realizing it, your entire worldwide view gets shaped by people who want you to be afraid. And look, in my opinion, the World Cup didn't just bring football to America. It accidentally broke the most powerful propaganda machine in the world because people finally went and saw it for themselves. So stop letting a screen decide what you think about a place. Go experience it because I promise you the truth is always different from what they're selling you.
Many Europeans arrived expecting loud stereotypes and endless hype. Instead, they found everyday conveniences, massive spaces, friendly conversations with strangers, and a level of confidence that seemed built into daily life. Suddenly, American confidence didn't look like arrogance anymore. It started making perfect sense from their perspective.
One of the things I really love about Americans is how confident they are.
This is a beautiful accent.
And it seems to be something that's ingrained in Americans from a really young age. So when we moved to America last year, me and my husband and the 3 children were all quite reserved. We're quite quiet people. We're shy, we're introverted, apart from being around each other. But since coming over here and being around people that are just so confident, it's really obvious how different we've been raised to just be quiet, don't show off, don't be too loud, don't talk about yourself, be wary approaching people. But I've really noticed a change in my 3 children. So they are attending a school and they have lessons in being confident and presenting. So even she's now 5, but even my 4-year-old, when she started transitional kindergarten, they had her on a weekly basis, like presenting to the class, saying, hi, this is my name, this is what I'm going to talk about. And they get graded on how loud they speak, how clearly they speak, what they can improve on. And I guess it's kind of like show and tell that we had in the UK, but that kind of fizzled out. And I remember it being optional as well. This is being in an American school, they really are expected to do this. And it's also when you go to like children's playgrounds and parks, a lot of the children will come up to my children and be like, hey, my name's so and so, would you like to play with me? And my kids at first were a bit like, oh, and really nervous and shy and didn't know what to say. But now they're like, yeah, my name is so and so and let's play. But when we first moved,
you know what, I'm going to do a prediction here, my friends. Prediction time. No, but serious, I'm going to do a prediction here. I think in the next 10 years a lot of people from the UK will try to move to America, and I'm talking about a crazy spike in numbers. Again, we'll see. I hope I'm still doing videos in 10 years, who knows, right? But I really believe that can happen for multiple reasons. First of all, America is the easiest country to move for them because of the language. I know you guys probably don't think about this, But for example, here in Portugal, we have a lot of people from Brazil, and one of the reasons is the language. Let's be real. They speak Portuguese, we speak Portuguese, they want a better life, they think about Portugal. And I think this could be also a thing in the relationship between the UK and the US. I know it's difficult to enter America right now, but it's possible. So I really believe the number will increase a lot in the next 10 years. André, why? It's basically because the politics in the UK, and this should be no surprise to anyone, are going downhill, basically. In the last 7 years, I believe they have 5 or 6 presidents, so think about this. Everyone is quitting, there is always a scandal, and you see the population is getting out of control with riots and stuff like that. They have big problems with immigration. So I don't expect great things, basically, in the next 10 years. And I think a lot of people will realize that, and goodbye, UK.
That here was really weird.
I could be wrong, of course, but I'm just putting 1 + 1, you know what I mean?
And now that's not the case. And I've really noticed that my 3 children are becoming more confident, and it's great to see them coming out of their shell. I don't think it's going to be something me and my husband will change, because we've had 40 years of being told and learning not to be confident,
it's the mentality.
Being reserved and quite quiet. And yeah, but I do like it. I think it's really good. I think it's great that the children are learning to be confident and to go up to other people and say, this is my name, this is what I do, to take up space and just be confident. I really like it.
One of the reasons all these videos about Europeans and foreigners coming to America and enjoying our culture so much, one of the reasons it's so great is because you have to remember that the media doesn't just lie about America in America. The media lies about America all over the world, right?
100%.
So people all over the world are told about how dangerous America is. And then they come to America and they're like, oh my God, it seems incredibly safe here. And they're told about how awful America is. And then they see how amazing like our grocery stores are and our restaurants are, and how, our food portions.
But to me, it's more surprised that the media lies to Americans inside of America. You know what I mean? Because, but I guess it's everywhere.
And they love the taste of the food. And so when all you get is this constant leftist stream of negativity about America, because journalists tend to be Marxist and communist and anti-American and anti-capitalist, right? Journalists around the world hate America. And this is universal inside of America, and it's almost universal outside of America. And so for people to actually come and experience the culture and realize that their media has also been lying to them their whole lives, and sometimes it's hard for Americans to realize that our media has also been lying to us our entire lives. I know I had this realization when I was in college. So this is a very difficult thing for us to realize, and we live here. And so for foreigners to come and get to experience how amazing American culture is compared to the lies they've been told, and also compared to their own home cultures, is really encouraging, and I'm loving every minute.
You guys are way more confident than British.
Okay, wait. I'm going to check all the lies that guy said. I see no lies. Let's continue.
People. And often I've noticed that confidence is paired with very little skill. And to me, that takes bravery, doesn't it? Anyone can be confident with a skill to back it up, but you guys are loud and proud, even when you have no clue what you're doing.
See, but that's the skill is being American and having the US military on their back. They don't understand.
The biggest surprise wasn't skyscrapers or highways. It was how comfortable Americans seemed expressing opinions, chasing opportunities, and thinking big without constantly worrying about judgment. For many visitors, that mindset was unfamiliar, and it challenged assumptions they had believed for years before visiting the United States.
So I've seen a lot of videos of Europeans, especially a lot of people from the UK, who are in America watching the World Cup, and their videos are basically saying how they underestimated how much they would like America. Well, I lived there for over 10 years. I did 3 years in San Francisco and around 7 years in Houston, Texas. And I
he
can
knows
tell
even
you
more now.
exactly what it is. It's not the food. It's not the amazing locations. I mean, these are all great.
Yeah.
But I promise you, it is the people. They are just on another level of happiness. And for example, in the UK, if you're walking down the road and you don't know someone and they're going to walk past you, their head will be down. They won't say good morning. They won't say hello. But I promise you, in America, it's completely different.
Completely
They'll say, hey,
different.
how's your morning? And you'll have a quick chat with them and their vibe will be insane. One of the most common things that I've said about American people is that they seem to just be happier to be alive. I don't know if it's just me, but every time I meet an American, they just seem happier than everybody else to be alive.
Yeah, I think freedom gives people that, to be honest. Look, well, friends, it is what it is. You should be proud of your country. I'm proud of America, and I'm not American. So, yeah, because I relate with a lot of what this guy said at the end. I end up having a similar experience, even though I spent 15 days in the US, But I felt a lot of that. So, thank you so much, my friends. See you guys next one. Bye.